Don't even get me started on this game, FIFA 14. Where do we even begin? What a time to be alive, and we're revisiting this masterpiece on today's video. Welcome to another installment of Retro FIFA. Oh, the memories. FIFA 14, a representation of simpler times. An iconic era for the transition to next-gen consoles, a banging soundtrack, wonder kids galore, a time where I just had no worries in life but to come home from school every day and play FIFA. This installment in the franchise holds a special place in my heart, and that's why today we're casting our minds back to 2013 and returning to retro FIFA content with a retro rebuild, and I honestly can't wait. This week I literally praised this game on Twitter, being part of the FIFA Holy Trinity as I like to call it. I hold this installment in a very high regard. One of the novelties about going through the old FIFA archives again is that you find teams that aren't even on FIFA anymore, especially the youth academy sides, just like Real Madrid Castilla. You all know Barcelona B. This is Los Blancos' second team where all their youth prospects come to develop. However, this is the last FIFA where Los Blancos' second team were featured. I guess we can say that they didn't exactly have the golden generation of Spanish football in their ranks. This team needs a lot of work done, so today Sir BCHD travels back in time to make Real Madrid Castilla a Spanish powerhouse, better than the first team and European champions. We're on the PS3/Xbox 360 version of the game, so strap yourselves in, we're in for one insane road to glory. Unfortunately, the FIFA 14 servers aren't up anymore, so we can't download the latest squads. That is a golden seal of approval, knowing that we have entered the realm of FIFA 14, and we get this little trailer. What's going on? What's happening here? I don't need an intro. I don't need a tutorial. I'm Sir BCHD. Get it out of my face. BCHD set to take Real Madrid Castilla by storm, and it felt like yesterday that I was thinking hours into this game as a young teenage BCHD was going through these menus and playing hours upon hours of career mode. I'll let you reminisce. I'll let the nostalgia sink in. Here are not that I was about to say old menus, but it's literally the exact same menu layout. This was the mark of the updated from FIFA 13 menus to FIFA 14. This was a real step up, and it's quite sad to see how EA haven't really capitalized and improved on this menu. Here is the team. I'll scroll through them all so you get to know them. I'm not quite sure if any of you recognize any of these players or if they went on to do bigger and better things. Here they are in FIFA 14. For the time being, I can't recognize any of them, so you guys will have to let me know down in the comments below. I think there might have been a young Di Thomas on this team. He developed into a semi-decent Spanish striker, and I believe this is Zidane's son, Enzo Fernandez. Could we turn a Real Madrid academy full of nobodies, basically, plus Zidane's son, into a European giant? This would be a story to write home about, and a piece of Real Madrid history that could never be topped if we could achieve it. In terms of transfers, this was right before market inflation. This was the season that Gareth Bale moved to Real Madrid for about £90 million. However, our transfer budget is as slim as anything. We're the Galacticos, but we haven't got that kind of money to play with, only about 700k in the bank. Ah yes, back in the days where you could request funds, this was an awesome feature when it actually worked. Half of the time, they never actually accepted any of your requests, but it's still a nice feature to have in there. If we fight for promotion and reach the round of 16, we'll see if the board can give us an extra million. I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. The FIFA 21 feature I actually prefer is the automated youth academies. We start off with nothing, and that would have been an awesome help to start off this rebuild, but unfortunately, probably going to, we can't even afford a scout. It's going to be a long haul. We got to play the long game here. Just taking a look at the old transfer news. I mean, Carlos Tevez to Juve. We've got Mario Gomez at Fiorentina. We also have Mario Götze, who signed for Bayern. This was a big summer. It seems like Real Madrid's second team has also done some other business in the summer. Pulidio coming in for £2 million from Atletico Madrid. Recently joined the club. Now, enough of the dawdling, enough admin work. Let's get down to business to see if we can pull off any transfer deals in this summer window. In a season where we have to heavily rely on cheap transfers, bargains, free agents, and loan deals, we have secured our first signing, and that is a young 18-year-old Adnan Januzaj for 400k. Manchester United is willing to let him go. This was the exact season under Sir David Moyes that he completely blew up, and we are splashing the majority of our transfer budget right now. We're signing on that dotted line. I've missed that animation, and the Belgian signs on a 5-year contract, and just as the sweetener on top of this deal, it's Jonathan Tah on a season-long loan. Yes, the 17-year-old German is joining our ranks. This video in its entirety is just going to be a mad throwback. Completely forgot about this feature. Something else I don't like about FIFA 14, you have to actually manually change the budget. There we go, that's better. On a slightly anticlimactic note, welcome to Real Madrid Castilla, Jonathan Tah and Adnan Januzaj. Now, it can't be a transfer window without some player sales, and we have gone ahead selling Queenie to CD Tenerife for 260k. Seriously, if you're not good enough for this team at 23, I don't even know who you you are anyway, so it was time to go. This was the FIFA where they added this new deadline day feature. Yet again, another one of these enhancements that they haven't improved upon over the years. 7 years, 8 years later, and it's still pretty much exactly the same. Honestly, with this kind of team, playoffs would be a dream. Promotion would be an absolute fairy tale. So let's sim to the end of the season to see how Real Madrid Castilla have performed. Here's a look at the Spanish second tier table. Liga, Adelante, and in the top two gaining automatic promotion is Deportivo La Coruña and Real Zaragoza. Our boys have actually snuck into the playoff picture in 6th with 74 points. They're going to come up against Las Palmas, Sporting Gijón, and Mallorca. I'm keen to see how these went in the Spanish Cup. They were nowhere near the round of 16, so keep dreaming. What am I actually witnessing right now? In the playoffs, they have gone on to win the whole thing, 3-2 against Mallorca, and then in the final, over 2 legs, it was a 3-2 victory, and Real Madrid's youth academy have been promoted to the first division of Spanish football. Now, I don't even think this is allowed in real life. Real Madrid Castilla win promotion after a memorable season. It's incredible, emotional scenes as Sir BCHD has done the unthinkable in his first campaign. Who are our main performers? Who are the main protagonists? I need answers here in the old squad report. I don't even know if we're ready for La Liga action, but here were some of our main performers. Can this team compete with the big boys? We're going to need one hell of a summer to see us stay up. But here's Adnan Januzaj, the Belgian. In his first Spanish footballing appearances, 17 matches, 1 goal and 4 assists for the Belgian. A +4 now standing at a 65. We move on over. Up top, we have Aguzia with 30 games, 12 goals and 6 assists. A major player, the Cam, with a sublime season. Now, Borja Garcia pretty much carried us to promotion and carried us to the playoffs. 18 goals and 5 assists in 47 appearances for the Spaniard. You could flicker through their performance stats and actual attributes. This was just a go-to squad report, but I do like how we have the new squad hub nowadays. Kiko Femenia, 38 games, 7 goals and 2 assists, doing his part. Christian Gomez in the middle of the park with 5 goals in 37 games. And Bergui off the bench with 4 goals. Jonathan Tah got a bit more game time than Adnan Januzaj, 37 in total. And Enzo Fernandez, Zidane's son, with 8 games, 3 goals and 1 assist. Jose Rodriguez with 2 goals in 21 appearances. We'll also have Omar off the bench with 6 goals and 25 assists. And last but certainly not least, Yamin Romero with 28 appearances, 7 goals and 4 assists. We actually tore his ACL. We have our fair share of work cut out for us in Season 2. Survival is the main goal. We'll end the season off there as we head into Season 14/15. The board has hailed us having an amazing first season, but I think that's pretty much going to go downhill after we start Season 2. So let's see what kind of challenges lie ahead for us in our second campaign facing La Liga's best. Now we have a mix of bad/good news to counteract our promotion. We start off Season 2, 3 players actually leaving the club. It is actually my bad. I didn't go through the contracts. I'll hold my hands up and say that was a big error as Casado has left the club to join Crystal Palace, Antonio Martinez has gone to Girona, and Mateos is leaving to Mallorca. Transfer offer for our top goal scorer last season, Borja Garcia. If there's any hope of us surviving, it is this man putting goals into the back of the net. So I'm just going to reject all future offers and disallow them as Catania put in £2.6 million. Now, onto the good news. I did one of those financial fund requests. The board has come back to us and actually accepted our request. We offered £1 million or 1.2. They've come back saying they're willing to give us an additional 900k, and that has taken us up to £1.8 million. Definitely not a budget cut out to help us survive, but we're gonna work with it. Now, we didn't exactly inherit a pot of gold stumbling into Season 2, so we've gone down the route of loaning in players, and it's not Malang Sarr. It's actually Marian Sarr from Borussia Dortmund. Got no clue what happened to this guy's career. No idea if he even still plays football. The German, I don't know his overall yet, but I know he's a decent centre-back, as the 19-year-old is going to join us on a season-long loan as we progress over to our second loan pickup, and it's a Manchester City Youth Academy player, the Portuguese Cam, Marcos Lopez. Player I know a bit more about, was looking like a failed wonder kid for a while, but he kind of semi-revived his career. He's now playing from Sevilla on loan from Nice. We've just signed him up as an 18-year-old youth prospect. You never know, he could have a breakout season for us. There is the deal finalized in the paper. I swear down, I actually have no clue how we pulled this loan to buy deal off. Yes, back when loan to buy was still in career mode. Recently added back in FIFA 21, but this was the birthplace, and right here, a young Nicholas Sewell at Hoffenheim. Yet another 18-year-old and another centre-back to add to our ranks. We have got a future fee installed of 200k, which is an absolute bargain. No matter what, he's going to be a Real Madrid Castilla player next season. That is a stunning bit of business in my book. I know he's only 61 overall, but it's a solid investment for the future. Like I said, we're playing the long game here. It's the same old brand new transfer news. It's another loan offer accepted for a young centre-back, and this this time is Daniele Rugani of Empoli at 19 years of age. No future fee installed this time. However, the Italian stallion makes his way over and is going to enjoy a flurry of new centre-back arrivals here at Real Madrid. I don't know how we keep getting lucky with these loan-to-buy offers. Santos have accepted a £3 million fee for Gabriel Barbosa, a young 17-year-old. He started this game off at 16, a young Brazilian teenager still making his name in South America, and a youthful Gabigol is about to join Real Madrid Castilla for £3 million. I pray to God that we have enough money to pick him up at the end of the season or the start of season 3. We'll sign up on that. I'm happy about that decision. And here he is in all his glory. Whilst the 2014 World Cup is going down, we are making money moves, surprising the rest of Spain with the kind of talent we can attract. The hungry young Gabigol is going to provide some decent competition for our top goal scorer last season, Garcia. That is another quality acquisition in the books as Real Madrid is starting to look revitalized under Sir BCHD. It's literally left us with no money to spend whatsoever. The free agency it is. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one. Another major error stumbling upon my part. As I looked into the free agency, I noticed a bunch of our players last season who the contracts we didn't renew have just been left in the free agency. We've been blocked from picking them up again, so hopefully in January we can get them back on a free. Otherwise, we're in for one treacherous season. There's not just a couple of them, there's quite a few, maybe like 5 or 6 players. Not exactly the situation I wanted to be in headed into season 2 and with a La Liga campaign to survive. Have we just been the masters of our own downfall? We'll find out. Unbelievable scenes here in 2014 as the champions, the world champions, have been crowned here in Brazil. And in fact, football has come home in a dramatic World Cup final. England versus Italy. It finished 1-1 and it went to penalties. Unfortunately, my Italians couldn't come out on top as they've done in the past on a penalty shootout. The Three Lions have only gone and done it at the Maracanã. Now, after being virtually unable to pick up any January transfers to reinforce the team halfway through the season after a long and treacherous campaign in the top flight, they have just narrowly survived. It came down to the last day and the Real Madrid Castilla have survived in the top flight. Levante, Celta Vigo and Real Valladolid couldn't make the cut and they get dropped down to Liga Adelante. For at least the time being, they've secured their top flight status for one more season. I said it'd be a fairy tale and that's exactly what it was. Upon first glance, technically we made it to the final of the Spanish Cup, but no, that is our first team, not the second team. These are the kind of headlines you can only find in FIFA 14. Rain, pain, driving Oscar insane. This sounds like a news story coming from a mental asylum or something. The way they're explaining this, players just used to get homesick. Oscar is not liking the English weather and I wish we had enough money to pick him up. I am fascinated to find out how everyone performed. Who were the main protagonists? We have Ekarami, an Egyptian goalkeeper with 6 clean sheets this season. We have an ex-La Masia Barcelona Youth Academy player, Kiko Femenia, with 34 appearances and 3 goals. Nicolas Sula and Daniele Rugani with their fair share of game time. We've got Marian Sarr, who fit perfectly in the back line. Jose Rodriguez from midfield with a goal and 3 assists, and Christian Gomez with a goal and 2 assists. We have Adnan Januzaj up to his 70. He received a +5 overall boost. 26 appearances. The Belgian mustered up 2 goals and 3 assists. Jamie Romero with 11 goal contributions and our first double digits in sight. 10 goals for the Spanish left midfielder Marcos Lopez in his first season. Only on loan though, up a +2 from 33 appearances. He found the back of the net 5 times, got 1 assist. Borja Garcia continued his rapid goal scoring form from season 1 and scored 11 goals in 40 appearances, coupled by 6 assists. Gabriel off the bench, we're about to make his move permanent for £3 million, and our 18-year-old with 1 goal in 13 appearances. Enzo Zidane's son not doing all too well, only with 7 appearances. I don't think he can make the cut. Well, we'll see what's in store for him and the rest of the team in the upcoming seasons, but what a way to wrap up season 2 with survival. Teams reach salvation and with enough prize money to somehow make the Barbosa move permanent. £3 million in the bank. I never thought this day would come. Sir BCHD's men showed the heart and determination of Galacticos, and it's good to see the first team doing well as Real Madrid win the Spanish Cup, and that OG photo brings back a lot of memories. Here we go, Gabriel Barbosa, Gabigol now officially joining the Castilla, a Real Madrid player. Unfortunately, we don't have the facilities to sign Sula for that 200k despite being so cheap. We're gonna have to go in again on a permanent transfer in season 3. Season 2 is in the book and salvation has been achieved. 17th spot was the goal and it was gotten. Being able to compete with the big dogs guaranteed for season 3. Can we keep this run going? It was a super season by the board standards. Let's hope we can keep this momentum up and solidify ourselves as a La Liga staple. Now, after our season 1 La Liga heroics, we actually have been handed a sizable budget to work with. Upwards of £6 million in the bank. Now that is some money we have never seen before, so let's go go out and spend it. Our transfer window grind continues here as we have secured a couple of cheeky deals. We're getting the band back together with Marcos Lopez, one of the stars of our survival season. He's going to be purchased from Manchester City in a future fee of £1.5 million after his loan spell this season. Just like Marian Sarr, the German centre-back, is going to be purchased for 600k. Someone who we could always turn to last season and was just a solid defender all around. Now we welcome back two familiar faces. The third one, we have Daniele Rugani. This time around, it is not a loan deal, it is a flat-out fee for 800k to purchase the Italian services. No future fees involved. He is outright ours. Now, a position we really lacked last season was a left back. We've sourced it from Italy again. You know it's not a Sir BCHD video without the Italian stallions, and this time Nicola Muro. He'll arrive on a season-long loan deal from Cagliari in Serie A, and there's no future fees. I don't even know if we can afford him. We just need a solid left back. He was one of Italy's main star wonder kids here on FIFA 14, and his career literally just fell off. I got no idea what happened to the guy. Nonetheless, he'll fit into this Real Madrid Castilla squad ever so nicely. Didn't call upon Jonathan Tah. We didn't find him worthy to bring back in Season 2. Nonetheless, it's another future fee deal. We are just milking this type of transfer right now. From a loan deal to a permanent basis, the 19-year-old German is going to join us for 800k at the end of the season, so fingers crossed we have the facilities to make that a permanent deal. Well, despite me bashing the feature earlier, saying it barely worked, it seems like I've gotten on the good side of the Real Madrid Castilla board, and they have accepted our grant, or our request, for £2 million. It's a moment that weighs more than gold. We finally make that right back upgrade we've been craving. We don't even have an out-and-out right back of the club. I don't know how we've survived, but here is a young João Cancelo that scarily looks very similar to João Felix. Still at Benfica, only 21 years of age, and we've snagged him on a £1.2 million deal. The negotiation system can be quite tricky at times, but I still don't know how we've gotten away with a fee that cheap, seeing that he's valued at 2.1 million now. Hey, even the media's praising us. João Cancelo leaves Benfica on the cheap. How did we get away with this highway robbery? And he is destined to make that right back spot his own. A right back and a goalkeeper were the main two areas of the jigsaw, which just weren't complete yet. So these last two acquisitions have been pinpoint to what we need in the team. Yes, I know it's another Italian. I promise I'll stop, but there were just too many good young Italian players coming up through the ranks. And this time, Nicola Leali, a player who even in FIFA 12 and 13 had a massive potential, and he's bound to join us here in Season 3 on a season-long loan. Our deadline day has drawn to a close, 1 hour remaining, and here is a wrap-up of our transfer business. No players sold. Muro, Marcos Lopez, Sarr, Rugani, Tah, and a lot of other acquisitions brought back into the club. Taking a look at the transfer budget, we've used most of our resources effectively. Maybe a couple of pre-contract signings we've got in our minds in January. We'll see. Here is our main starting 11 headed into Season 3 in another push for La Liga survival and a bit of mid-table comfort. Here's to another season of the Sir BCHD revolution at Real Madrid B. Now, I did hint at the possibility of us attracting a few pre-contract offers, and that's exactly what we've done. Only one signing a contract, though. Would have opted for a couple more, but it's Manu Tigueros over from Villarreal, the 24-year-old Spaniard. I'm unaware of his overall, but I know pretty much going to be our best midfielder upon arrival come Season 4. We've picked him up on 15k a week, a free deal. That's exactly the kind of dub we need to be taking right now as we sign away the papers. Season 3's now come to a close, and it's not quite mid-table. It's still in that lower half, but hey, it's good enough. According to the board, we're still right and fit for the job. They say 40 is the magic number, and that's exactly what they've collected this season. Survival, mid-table status. They well and truly have their heads above the relegation zone. Elche, Granada, and Real Zaragoza are going down to the second division. Barcelona finish on top. Real Madrid in second. Sevilla and Atletico Madrid finish off the top 4. In terms of the Spanish Cup, yeah, we didn't make it anywhere throughout. Barcelona win the Champions League 1-0 against Borussia Dortmund, do the double, become Spanish and European champions, and in the Europa, it is Tottenham bottling another final 3-2 to Juventus. Hey, back when they actually had Juventus in the game. Unfortunately, towards the tail end of this season, the form has just dropped off, and a lot of our players right now are in bad form. Someone that I'm definitely going to consider making a permanent deal or calling back on loan is Nicola Muro. A solid impression from left back, 5 goals and 1 assist for the Italian. We had Christian Gomez with 36 appearances, 2 goals and an assist. Kiko Femenia, it's 2s all around, 22 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists. Adnan Januzaj, now up to a 74, has received a +4 boost to his overall with 4 goals and 2 assists this season. And Marcos Lopez continuing to impress with 16 appearances. He scored 2 goals and got himself 3 assists. Let's hope he can transform into our sort of Bruno Fernandes of the team, as Borja Garcia still the leading top goal scorer, the trusted talisman with 9 goals and 6 assists, 15 goal contributions in 39 games. We have Jamie Romero, 3 goals in 31 appearances, and Gabriel still easy into the team, only a +1 this season. He's unhappy, so we need to get him that bit more game time. 6 appearances, 4 goals and 1 assist. Jose Rodriguez unfortunately tore his ACL midway through the season, so he had an injury-plagued campaign. That's going to be a wrap on Season 3. Real Madrid Castilla are having their heads held high and dreaming for Season 4 success. After another super season, Sir BCHD is delivered on a limited budget. With the odds stacked against us, we still were able to prove the doubters wrong as we dive headfirst into yet another La Liga campaign with a European dream on our mind. We all saw it last year in January. Just to update you guys, yet again, Trigueros has arrived at the club. The Spaniard to start off Season 4, considering we couldn't secure Lopez on that permanent deal. We ran into a couple of problems with his wages and his contract, so this is kind of a blessing in disguise. At a 73 overall, he'll slot in nicely whether or not we can bring back Lopez or the dream is over, or the Portuguese wants to stay at Man City, as Manu can offer us quite a bit going forward. In terms of our finances, it is just a little upgrade upon Season 3. We get 2 million more, now standing at about £8 million if we adjust the budget correctly. A lot more than we're used to playing with, so let's go out and spend it. Our first player departure in what feels like years. We've actually sold a player. Omar's headed to Elche for just over £500,000, so nothing to boast about, just a little sale, and Deadwood headed out the club. We all know the goalkeeping spot has been a contentious area that we've been desperately needing to upgrade. Liali was a short-term fix, but now we have found the man for the throne. It is Jan Oblak, the no-face Slovenian here in FIFA 14. We're going to confirm the purchase, a future fee of £6 million. He arrives on a loan deal, and we got to fix the budget. It catches me at the best of times, but finally we can go ahead and confirm that we have a brand new shot stopper and a number 1 in between the sticks. Oblak's loaned in at a 74 overall, 23. This game didn't really predict where he was going to skyrocket in his career. Let's hope we can recreate that and change the course of history. Instead of moving to Atletico, he's come to Real Madrid B. Now, if you had a keen eye, you might have seen this coming in the emails, but here is Junior Melanda, and this is where I get a bit emotional because we have to pay respect to a legend. Unfortunately, tragically lost his life back in 2015. The Belgian CDM was the next big thing. His career was going to be insane, and Belgium lost an incredible talent. It is my honor that through FIFA 14, in this retro rebuild, we can sign him up for one last time. Junior Melanda, welcome to Real Madrid Castilla. If only what could have been for £8.5 million. We requested a bit more money from the board. We got £3.5 million extra, and we got this one over the line. What a massive deal it is, because he is now our highest rated player in the team at an 81 overall, a £6.5 million valuation, and he hits the gym alright, 98 strength, an absolute tank. He slots into that midfield ever so perfectly, and he is gifted the captain's armband. Of course, we had to go ahead and give it to him. That is a marquee signing and a half if I've ever seen one. I don't know, let's hope we've done enough. We kind of splurged on both Melanda and Oblak. Let's cross our fingers and hope that they could push for Europe. Yeah, I guess you can say this season didn't really go to plan. We finished in 16th, just above the drop zone. Only that 1 point saved us. With 35, we were very lucky to stay alive. Finishing at the top is our first team counterpart, Real Madrid, taking home the Spanish title. Barcelona in second, and Real Sociedad, also Valencia, make up the top 4. That is a very lackluster season, considering we promised the board we'd finish in a Europa League spot. So I'm glad we haven't got sacked. Real Madrid also winning the Spanish Cup in the Copa Europe. Barcelona took that one out. Real Madrid did the treble back when it was called the Champions Cup against Newcastle United. Has the Qatari financial takeover actually happened here in FIFA 14? And over in the Europa League, it was a Manchester derby where the Red Devils came out on top 1-0. Now, I can't imagine this was a season to write home about in terms of stats. It would have been great in Season 2, but no, we're a couple seasons deep now, just signing Junior Melanda. He scored 5 goals and 4 assists in 39 appearances. Our big marquee signing in bad form. Christian Gomez, we might have to look to sell in the future. We've got Kiko Femenia, 21 games and nothing to show for it. Just players who aren't turning up. Adnan Yanuzai, very unhappy, a +3 now at 77, scored 1 goal and 1 assist. Manu Trigueros actually was probably our signing of the season, and he came here on a free. 31 appearances, 12 goal contributions, 9 goals from the cam spot, as well as Borja Garcia with 8 goals and 4 assists, 12 goal contributions in 36 appearances. Gabigol is very unhappy again. This isn't looking too good on a morale standpoint. Zinedine Zidane's son growing up a +3 despite only playing 5 games, which is interesting. That was a wake-up call like no other. Let's hope we can brush up and improve for Season 5. 16th is just not good enough. We've made it half a decade did 5 years with this Real Madrid second team, and here is our current budget. After a lackluster La Liga campaign, just managing to hold on to our job, we get gifted just about £7 million. Not entirely sure how much I'm going to be spending of this in the summer, as I have big plans for January. We are manifesting an all-out raid on the transfer market come the winter window. We'll be quite shocked with who we're able to pick up. For now though, let's see how this summer pans out. Now this feels weird. It's our first player departure in about 5 years. The first major one, in fact. It's Borja Garcia. He's been with us since day one. One of our most reliable centre forwards that can bang in goals season after season. He's been sold to Sampdoria in Serie A. We have to take the L on that one, but it's time to say goodbye to our trustworthy Spaniard. We might just be sitting on the biggest transfer budget we've ever held throughout this rebuild so far, but we are saving up every single penny for our January plans, and right now we're bringing back a familiar face in Nicolas Sula on loan yet again. The 21-year-old German is going to join us for one season, and Nathaniel Chaloba, the ex-Chelsea wonder kid who used to have a lot of promise back in the day, he's going to arrive on a season-long loan. The 22-year-old CDM/centre-back, he's going to be a great utility option. I'm actually surprised they let such a high-rated player go out on loan at 78 overall. Usually, you can't secure loan deals for players approaching that 80s overall mark, but hey, in FIFA 14, times were different. It's yet again another pretty tame summer transfer window as we scroll across to our business. Only 2 acquisitions. It was the major departure and sale of Borja Garcia for £6 million that defined our transfer window, really. Let's see if this side have got enough in them to qualify for European football. The good news just keeps on coming. So far, Real Madrid Castilla are on track to qualify not only for the Europa League, but they've made top 4. Champions League football could be a reality come season 6. With 34 points at the halfway stage of the season, they are not title contenders obviously, but hey, even if they have a slight drop off, Europa League football would be a dream. Now here was my master plan. We have approached a ton of top tier elite players for their pre-contract signatures, and here we have Julian Draxler, one of my favorite wonder kids of all time. In terms of FIFA, I always used to sign him back on the day, so this is a mad nostalgia trip, and the Schalke wonder kid is going to depart his hometown club and arrive at Real Madrid Castilla at the start of season 6. That is one brilliant acquisition, and trust me, there's more on the way, but we can only afford a few. Personally, I think this one's a bargain. William Carvalho, if you play these older FIFAs, you know all about this man. He was tipped to go to all the big European clubs, and he never did, and considering his wages are only 20k a week, I'll accept that. And we also have Rodrigo and Yannick Carrasco back when he was a wonder kid. I don't know whether to bite the bullet on him. We got a few more deals upcoming. I said I was going to bring this man back. I was supposed to do it in the summer transfer window, but he was available on a pre-contract. What's better than a bargain? Getting him on a free. So we're bringing back a former hero of season 4, Nicola Muru. Welcome back to Real Madrid Castilla. We have a gargantuan decision to make right now. We've got a couple of pre-contract signings lined up, but we can only afford one, and I just have to do it. The Colombian megastar that announced his name on the world stage, the golden boy of that tournament before Real Madrid snatched him up. The second team are going to acquire his services. The Colombian maestro will join us. We have to say goodbye to Carrasco, Rodrigo, and Bruma, as we just simply can't afford them. Pre-contract negotiation deals were our main agenda, not reflected upon our deadline day transfer wrap-up. For the time being though, these lot are focusing on a high table position here in La Liga. Sometimes you just gotta stand back and admire what has been a meteoric rise to the top of Spanish football, given they're not quite at the top just yet, but they have maintained that top 4 position by one solitary point, collecting up 72 points this season. That puts them above Valencia and the likes of Atletico Madrid, Sevilla as well. It has been a stunning campaign. They were nearly relegated last season as Real Madrid B have qualified for the Champions Cup. In the Copa del Rey, they actually made it to the quarterfinals and only losing to Sevilla 4-4 on away goals. In the Champions League, Real Madrid continue to dominate. Maybe we're looking forward to a Champions League final with Real Madrid versus their second team. That would be quite hilarious. In the Europa League, it was Liverpool on penalties to win against Wolfsburg. Now let's check up on the main performers here. We have Joao Cancelo with a goal and an assist. Nathan Chalobah fitted in perfectly. We might have to make his move permanent next season. Marianne Sarr from left back scored 4 goals in 40 appearances. Junior Malanda with 11 goal contributions in 44 appearances. The Belgian is an absolute man. Mountain Adnan Januzaj hitting the 80 overall, has been with us since day one. 5 goals and 1 assist for the Belgian. We do have Jamie Romero, really stepped up his game this season. I was kind of thinking of selling him for a bit of cash, but 9 goals and 6 assists was a great return for 38 games. Jose Rodriguez, one of the club's bright, young, up-and-coming stars, has now hit the 80s with 2 goals and 3 assists in 33 appearances. Gabriel really had a breakout season. After a couple of years of stagnation, he has overtaken that striker role with 16 goals in 33 appearances on top of 9 assists. That is a remarkable season. Ransol, a backup striker with 5 goals and 4 assists off the bench, providing that impact when we needed him most, and MADRID proves to be one of the signings of the career mode so far. Scored him on a free contract and has returned 20 goal contributions, 13 goals and 7 assists. As we cross over into the 18/19 season, we're edging ever so closer to current day. It's actually quite amazing. Let's see if Sir BCHD can take this youth academy club to fighting on multiple fronts here in season 6. So honestly, I can't believe we've made it this far, but here we are with a current transfer budget of £16 million. Again, is this going to equip us and qualify us for European football? Is this enough resources to get us over the line and compete? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Our first piece of business in pretty much what is going to be our main focus of bringing in domestic Spanish players this window. It is a £6 million deal for Inigo Martinez. He used to be quite a decent, quite a solid career mode player back in FIFA 14, and for £6 million, we bring in the 27-year-old to be a main starting centre-back. Here is our second proposition, the second bit of transfer news that we have for you. It is Jesse Rodriguez. I know we're kind of going full savage mode, not even knowing what his actual overall is, but we've taken a wild swing for £8 million. It's our first purchase that has come from our parent club. No, not even parent club, the first team. And of course, we all saw the failed Rodrigo pre-contract attempt. We didn't have the funds. Now, apparently, according to the news, the media is praising us, saying we've got a cut price for Jesse Rodriguez, and his value being £9.5 million. At 81 overall, he is definitely, no doubt, going to be our main starting striker. Well, this news has taken me by surprise. We received an offer for Jano Black, and I countered with a £10 million move, thinking Lille wouldn't bite the bullet, and they went on to match that price tag, and we have sold the Slovenian shot stopper. I was attempting to get an upgrade in the goalkeeping spot this season, but not through the means of selling Jano Black. He was going to be a quality backup. I'm just happy right now we got £10 million out of him, but we need to find a replacement, and fast. I'm aware this isn't our number one priority right now. We are in desperate need of a goalkeeper, but I've somehow conjured up a swap deal with Chelsea, the first one of the retro rebuild so far. For last year's loanee, Nathaniel Chalobah impressed me that much that I'm so desperate to make it permanent. For £5.5 million plus our Spaniard who's headed out the team, a bit of dead wood. So we're giving that one the green light. Welcome back to Real Madrid Castilla, Chalobah. Once more, the media are just appreciating us. They're admiring our transfer managerial brilliance. We get Chalobah on a cut price. That is going to be one of the bargains of the video. Listen, hear me out. I tried to bring back some veteran goalkeepers, some OGs of the game like Victor Valdez and Casillas, but they both rejected our contracts. They didn't want to move to such a great club on the rise. We had to resort to a loan. We literally have no pennies in the bank after that Chalobah transfer. Daniel Borchman, I've got no idea where he is today. I don't even know if he still plays. He's an Austrian shot stopper from Stoke City, and we have brought him in on a season-long loan. It would have been such a cool opportunity to bring these two, or even one of these Spanish legends to the club, but it just wasn't to be. Okay, we can breathe a sigh of relief. At least he's better than our starting goalkeeper right now, but I don't think he is cut for European football whatsoever. We're going to have a tough time. I can now proudly say that nearly our entire starting 11 is above 80, just besides Manu Trigueros. 9 out of 11 players are in the 80s, and it just shows how far we've come. A summer with a pre-contract raid, 2 major departures, and quality acquisitions brought into the club. Finally, we have a productive / semi-eventful transfer window. I'll present to you our Champions League group. Drawn into Group H for the very first time, Real Madrid's B team is going to be up against Inter, Bayer Leverkusen, and Zenit St. Petersburg. A tough group in there. Don't know if they can qualify out of that one. It'd be nice to see them at least go to the Europa League. It's January again, and you know what that means. We have 2 mega opportunities to bring in pre-contract players right here. Neymar of Manchester City was pretty much the most overpowered career mode player back in the day. Back on FIFA 14, at an 89 rating, he was an actual striker. We could go ahead and accept him, but our second opportunity is also Marco Verratti, the Italian stallion at PSG. But we can only afford one of them, which is quite heartbreaking. And, you know, I'm kind of pulled a bit more towards Neymar, as Verratti would be a great option, but Neymar, he's just got that Ballon d'Or-esque potential about him, so it just has to be Neymar. Welcome to Real Madrid Castilla in Season 7. Unfortunately, we're going to have to reject Marco Verratti for now. Probably not the Real Madrid he was dreaming of playing for, but hey, times have changed now. Real Madrid B are the next big thing. Hey, I know the pre-contracts are kind of unrealistic, all these free transfers, but let a man dream. Let's let BCHD have fun on FIFA 14, alright? We finally made it. I never thought we'd get this far, but Season 6 has come to the conclusion, and it is a record high for Real Madrid Castilla. So high, they nearly finished above the first team. We are so close to breaking the mold. We are teasing our dominance over the first team. We're proven to be a real threat with 75 points, making the top 4 again, Champions League qualification, which is what we want, 75 points this season, just 7 away from actual Real Madrid. Valencia finishing 4th, and Barcelona crown the champions. No way, surely not. Okay, we are actually like forming a little rivalry here with the first team, Real Madrid Castilla, the second team, up in the Spanish Cup, Copa del Rey final. This is something unprecedented. This is history in the making right here. We have a chance to get a one-up on the Galacticos here in the Spanish Cup final. This is a real pivotal moment. It could be a massive statement of intent. Here is the starting 11 for their first chance of silverware throughout this entire video right now, in a neutral location for the Spanish Cup. We'll simulate it and actually watch this one play out. Obviously, don't know what to expect here. I'm pretty sure Real Madrid are going to take the cake here. They have an absolutely goated squad for FIFA 14 standards. But Adnan Januzaj kicks off proceedings here with a 15th minute opener, and we go 1-0 up the Belgian. Ever since day one, it will be a massive story. Benzema, Mr. Penalty. It might be our day, you know. We might be in luck. Jamie Romero coming on for Januzaj with 20 minutes left to play. Who knows what is about to go down, but are they going to win the cup with 10 minutes left? Please don't get a late equalizer. Oh, they've actually gone and done it. Adnan Januzaj, you absolute hero. The Belgian has come out and taken down Real Madrid in what is a final of dramatic circumstances. Ronaldo was on the bench. Real Madrid's second tier squad has officially overthrown the Giants of Madrid. We've created a new beast, a new powerhouse here at FIFA 14, and that is their official first piece of silverware for the video. Bow down to your Copa del Rey champions. Here is your statistical recap of the team. After season 6, we had Daniel Borchmann in on loan, and he actually conjured up 18 clean sheets in 50 appearances for the Austrian. That is pretty decent for a 73 rated keeper. We are definitely looking to upgrade that position in season 7. Chalobah playing mainly a centre back, getting a goal. We have Inigo Martinez having a great second season. We have Inigo Martinez with a great first season. Nicola Muru coming back in and fitting right back into the jigsaw. We have Jose Rodriguez from midfield with 3 goals and 2 assists. Junior Melanda with a goal and 5. Didn't actually grow this season, which is quite concerning. James Rodriguez scored 11 goals and got himself 4 assists from the right-hand side. Adnan Januzaj with probably the goal of his career, the goal of his life in the Spanish Cup final. 7 goals and 2 assists for the Belgian this season. And Julian Draxler, something special from this man. He has been the main MVP, the German center attacking midfielder with 10 goals and 13 assists, 26 goal contributions. And Jose Rodriguez is probably our highest goal scorer, gets the golden boot for us this season, 19 goals and 11 assists. Jamie Romero, although he's pretty much on the outs in terms of this team, he's been here since 2008, 7 goals and 2 assists, ain't too bad for the now 28-year-old, still only 75 rated. And Zinedine Zidane's son, Enzo, with 2 goals in 12 appearances. William Carvalho has definitely been pretty much a disappointment for me. I don't know, I was expecting a bit more from him, and he hasn't really delivered, unfortunately. To end it off, it is Christian Gomez with 5 appearances and 2 goals. Definitely looking towards our problem areas next season, a starting goalkeeper for one, and maybe 1 or 2 more defenders, but other than that, we could be pushing for some real European glory come lucky season 7. This season had all the hallmarks of the progress we were actually looking for, with that icing on top of the cake with the Copa del Rey. It just adds to the storyline and adds to the main overarching mission of the video. So let's continue. Season 7 is up next, and I'm sure this team is going to continue to soar above the rest. In our 7th campaign, things don't get any more luxurious in terms of our financial situation. Here in the transfer budget, as we gifted maybe around £20 million. I don't want to stretch things here. Let's just say 20. It's definitely more than what we used to, but at least we can work with it in terms of getting a brand new quality starting goalkeeper. You all know Neymar's arrival on a pre-contract, but what I've actually forgot to tell you guys is that we brought in a Russian goalkeeper, Belanov. Considering our plans to get a brand new number 1, he will act as a backup, and he's only 77 rated, so still, it would have been good for last season, but it just doesn't cut it this time around. I can't believe this is actually happening. We have gone out and picked up an actual starting goalkeeper, and we have not messed around here with Abdoulaye Diallo. Little to my knowledge, he's actually a glitch potential wonder kid. I've looked him up on FIFA back in FIFA 14. He only had a 76 potential, and I found him here just chilling at Valencia at an 89 rating. He's higher rated than Neuer, some of the best keepers on the game. The Frenchman at 27 in his peak, and we've picked him up for £18.5 million off fellow league rivals. Abdoulaye, welcome to the club. Finally, we've got some security in between the posts. How this man has slipped through the cracks, I'll have no idea, but with 96 goalkeeping reflexes, something went wrong in the FIFA 14 code, and he's just turned into one of the best shot stoppers in world football. Don't mind our flex right here, but thanks to the Frenchman's acquisition, Real Madrid Castilla is now rated as a 5-star team. I know, it's probably not the high prestigious rated centre back you're all expecting, but we could only work with what we have right now, and we have conjured up a 500k plus Lucas Torres swap deal for Lionel Galliano. Uruguayan, I believe, from Rayo Vallecano. He's actually pretty decent. I think he's only about 80 rated rated or so he's nothing too special, but he'll get the job done and will be a great rotational / starting player. There you go. Let's hope he's going to be the answers to our defensive nightmare, as he's 28. Yeah, there you go. He's 80 and he's actually Argentinian. We've had to say goodbye to Lucas Toro, someone who's been there from day one, but it's a sacrifice we needed to make. We're still jam-packed in the midfield, so we had to make room for a brand new defender. Taking a scroll through the Champions League, and here is our dedicated group drawn into Group B alongside Wolfsburg, Anderlecht, and Copenhagen. See, I don't know at this stage of the save and back in FIFA 14, this is an actual easy group or it's a challenging group. We don't know what currently these teams are doing right now, but let's hope we can pass with flying colors. You can't really complain about a transfer window like this in the summer. We've literally targeted our key areas. Lucas Toro is out the door. The two high-quality, world-class purchases in. We have one of the top 3 transfers of the summer. But here is how the starting 11 is looking headed into season 7. Is this a Champions League winning worthy team? I guess we'll find out. Honestly, I don't think I could have resisted this transfer opportunity. Right here, we have a FIFA 14, or just a career mode legend in general, Zakaria Bakali. I can't tell you how many times I actually bought this guy back in the day, and now we're getting him for a free, still at PSV. He's now 88 rated for 23 years of age. If we go into season 8, he will join us, and another Belgian right winger will be in our ranks, as Adnan Januzaj apparently must be sold. He's feeling homesick for some reason, so we've got to start preparing before things go downhill. Love them or hate them, count that as the 9th, maybe 8th free contract we've signed. It's just part of the game, people. Hate the game, not the player. Okay then, apparently the board can just do that in FIFA 14. Adnan Januzaj has been sold just like that, straight off the bat, for £12.5 million. We get 10.5 in the bank, but that has come as a shock to the system. A Spanish Cup finalist legend. He was going to have a statue built outside the Santiago Bernabeu for him, but no, now he's off to the old lady. He's left for Juventus. We could have got so much more money out of him, but the board have just been savage and sold him on the cheap. I'm absolutely fuming. He's homesick, but then he leaves to Italy. I don't understand that. We've got at least £15 million to work with, so let's get to work here in January. Sergio Ramos, a Real Madrid first team Galactico legend. However, now the tables have turned and he's making the switch to the second team. He's going to help out in his later years of his career. At 33, he was a beast back in FIFA 14, FIFA 13. Sergio Ramos was a go-to elite top tier centre back. Now the Spaniard for £6.6 million. Sergio, welcome to the better Real Madrid. I'm just praying that the growth system doesn't just completely deteriorate his overall the minute he gets older and older. This season has wrapped to a close right now, and we have still maintained into the top 4 picture, but not really going all the way and challenging the undefeated, invincible Barcelona for the title. And even our first team finishing in 2nd place, we just managed that 4th position and getting relegated. Osasuna, Real Valladolid, and Levante all going back down to the 2nd division. And again, no, you're joking. How is this possible? It is 2 years in a row. Real Madrid B versus Real Madrid in the Spanish Cup final. I'm lost for words right now. I guess it's going to be a rematch. We'll see who wins that out in the Copa Europe and also in the Champions Cup. Did we make it all the way, or was that actual Real Madrid? I can't even tell, but I'm going to have to double check. We might be in a Champions League final? Question mark? It could have been an all Real Madrid final as well, so that could have been interesting. Oh, here we are. There we go. May 2020. There's no pandemic in FIFA 14, as it's Real Madrid Castilla versus Juventus for a piece of European silverware. What a run it was. I forgot this is actually going to clash perfectly. Adnan Januzaj, who left there because he felt quote-unquote homesick. We're coming up against our former employee and also taking on the old lady in the big dance. Firstly though, it's another Spanish Cup final, which I'm just going to simulate in contrast to the Champions League final, which I'm actually going to play here. Can we do it 2 in a row? I don't know. I don't feel like we can. It doesn't really matter anyway. Let's just skip it, and we actually win on penalties after all. 1-1. Neymar with the goal, and Real Madrid Castilla back-to-back Spanish Cup Copa del Rey champions. It was one of our main overarching goals, just completely overthrowing and making the first team irrelevant, as Real Madrid Castilla has become gargantuan enough in itself. This is the final squad report we're going to see before we face the Bianconeri in the Champions League final. Take a look, all the stats, all the players' attributes, and how far they've grown throughout the years. Unfortunately, James Rodriguez has gone down 1 overall rating. I'm pretty shocked about that. 10 goals and 1 assist for the Colombian. We also do have Junior Melando with 2 goals and 5 assists, who'll be leading the lads out tonight wearing the captain's armband. Jose Rodriguez, although being replaced, he still has found himself in the team in and around at 10 goals and 3 assists. Julian Draxler, what would we do without the German playmaker? 19 goals and 10 assists. That is 29 goal contributions, as we have Neymar Jr. Might just be the signing of the video, the Brazilian with 31 goals and 17 assists. I wasn't lying when I said he was an overpowered beast back in FIFA 14. Gabriel Barbosa / Gabigol didn't grow or develop as we hoped, but he still stuck by us and served as a decent first team member. Jamie Romero, I'm actually taken away by this man all these years, and being actually lackluster in comparison to the starting 11. He has found the back of the net 17 times and scored 5 assists in the meantime. I'm impressed by him. Being a real surprise package. Zinedine Zidane's son couldn't get to the heights of his father, but he'll still be participating in tonight's European final. And Manu Trigueros, we've got to pay respects to one of our best players in years gone by. No injuries or suspensions for tonight, so we'll be rocking a full strength starting 11. Now, back when it was called the Champions Cup and not the Champions League, no licensing back in FIFA 14, but it was still as dramatic and prestigious as ever. And funnily enough, we're actually playing at the Santiago Bernabeu, so not only have we done the double over Real Madrid, we might take the opportunity by the scruff of the neck and winning a Champions League trophy in their own backyard. Heck, why don't we make this our own home stadium? I'm sure playing in the training ground gets old, so we might as well upgrade. Oh, that's the man himself. And then Yunusai, hoping to inflict some former damage on his former employers, the number 16. There he is, Junior Malanda. We have Claudio Marchisio, man. One of my favorite players is still the captain for Juventus. Here is their starting lineup. Nicola Leali in goal. Okore, Scholzer, Ogbonna, Marone make the back four. Marchisio, Pogba, Asamoah, and Januzaj are in the midfield. I believe it is Musa up top alongside a strike partner, Wellington Nem. An interesting 3-5-2 from the Bianconeri, as we all know our starting 11. Let's get proceedings underway here as Juve kick things off. Man, I've not played FIFA 14 in God knows how long, especially old gen FIFA 14, so I'm going to be hella rusty. Pass it on to Julian Draxler, our main MVP. Neymar, the top goal scorer, threads a lovely ball in. James Rodriguez takes a pot shot, and Leali actually deflects it away. And how did Jesse Rodriguez miss? It was a tight angle. That's the first big chance of the match. Fades away from his man, and now Neymar has all the room in the world to cut back inside. He'll do a little fake shot, a little shimmy, and it's Neymar against Real Madrid. That's Neymar against Juventus, and the B team get the first goal. He hits his 32nd goal of the season, and the mercurial Brazilian, the poster boy of South America, shows up on a European stage, cuts inside, loses his man, fools the goalkeeper, and it's a perfectly placed finesse shot into the back of the net. 1-0 to Real Madrid Castilla. It's first blood to the Real Galacticos in the Champions League final. Oh, Neymar, beautiful ball over the top through ball, and Draxler's away here, one-on-one chance. He'll try and cut it back, and Leali chops him down without the ball. That is definitely a penalty. Will it be a red card? I don't know. Maybe he'll get sent off. The former Wonder Kid, he gets a yellow card. And I forgot, he was actually one of our former players as well. We took him on loan a couple seasons back, and now we're up against him. Who's going to take the penalty? It's going to be Neymar. Let's see if he can convert in the old FIFA 14 penalty system. Will go right, and that was close. But Neymar with his 33rd goal, he's second of the night. He's just having fun out here, and the Santiago Bernabeu is his training ground. He feels at home, cool, calm, and composed from this penalty spot. He went the right side, but it was just too much power, too much placement, and we go 2-0 to the good. No, Januzaj! Oh, it's off the bar and out! And nearly Juventus with the perfect reply to half the deficit. And again, the Bianconeri with the ball inside. A beautiful cross to Musa! And it's somehow gotten through, and the smallest man on the pitch wins a header, unmarked and free in the box. Juventus are right back in this 34th minute. Adnan Januzaj celebrating like a madman. And this isn't over yet. With Marchisio, but Jesse Rodriguez wins the ball back. Nice little back flick. And Neymar is going to take a pop from his left foot, and that's how lethal he is. The 37th minute hat-trick, a first half hat-trick, and there he goes. What a man. He's turned invisible. That's how magical he is tonight. And Real Madrid Castilla are literally tearing it apart here. A lovely little back flick from Jesse Rodriguez. I think that's Nathaniel Chalobah with the ball inside and on the weak foot. Does this man have a weak foot? It's 3-1 to the good, and it's just goals are flying in left, right, and center. Gonna be half-time right there. 3-1 at the break. It has been non-stop action in tonight's first 45. Let's see what goes down in the second half, because it definitely isn't over yet. And the ball away from Malanda, but Chalobah, his partner, there to win it back. And all these openings are starting to show themselves here as Leali has to go full stretch to deny Draxler's long-range effort. Alright, substitutes for Juve. It's Gaston Ramirez, another career mode god, and Alexandre Pato coming on. I mean, we're talking career mode royalty here. Juventus could just bring off the bench. And again, corner, unable to provide. And the bicycle kick from Sergio Ramos. Third and final substitution, Belfodil, the Algerian striker. I do recognise that name from back in the day. Comes on for Juve. The Algerian, we're trying to Make sure he doesn't do much, and that could have been a well and truly easy tap in for Juve to make it 3-2, but they just couldn't capitalize. Draxler, oh no, it's James with a beautiful ball into Draxler, and this could be the final nail in the coffin to finish it off and encapsulate our number 7's remarkable campaign. 20 goals in all competitions. He can't hear the crowd. The Juve fans are silenced, and an 89th minute goal for our 4th all but confirms Real Madrid Castilla to become European champions. Domestically and continentally, this side has proven their worth. It's been a 7-year grind. It's something we've worked so hard for. This video has taken me so long to do, especially on FIFA 14, relearning everything I needed to on this old career mode. But here we are, Champions League victors against Real Madrid here on our own turf. It feels oh that much more satisfying, especially with all the nostalgia playing this game back in the day. It takes me back to memory lane, so hopefully it did the same for you as well, as we took a youth academy team to become European champions. Make sure you let me know down in the comments below. We've done a FIFA 18, FIFA 15 retro rebuilds, and now we've ticked off FIFA 14, so let me know which other retro FIFAs we should tackle next in the rebuild realm. We've got the fireworks, the confettis all popping off. If you went on to enjoy and appreciate Sir BCHD's efforts right here, make sure to drop the video like down below, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications for more FIFA content dropping very, very soon. As always, I've been Sir BCHD. Have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the very next video.
That it feels right.